Hello, this is a pretty peaceful game played on IGS between 5Q plus players where white won by 13.5. Let's see what could have been done better. Black starts with the top right corner, white goes for a Komoku inviting black for a diagonal Fuseki, but black still plays calm and goes for a parallel Fuseki pattern instead. Then a Hoshi, so far so good, and black got the Shimari. Now there are several ways for white to consider where to go next. In the actual game, white decided to play an inside Kakari, but when the Shimari is facing the left side, white can simply play c10. This would be an old school way of playing, simply take away the middle side extension, but if white wants to play a bit more aggressive, then c15 is an option, pull back, extend, and then go for a base. So this would be an ideal shape on the left side and set up a nice moyo. Also for white, it's good enough to play a Shimari like p3 or p4 or o4, which is a very common Shimari nowadays. Also r14 approach, it's an option, and of course the early Sansan invasion. So all these moves are available, and of course the inside approach, the actual move in the game, it's fine too. But in the future, it's good to consider all these options before playing the probably sometimes the most common move or maybe the most popular move. Another way here is to play the shoulder hit. So the classic inside approach in this case, then black simply falls back. Now when this happens, white can just slide and extend back. This is a tight defense and it's a classic Joseki, so the base white gets in the top cannot be invaded. When white extends 3 space jump like this, black can jump in right away. Another option for white, and probably the most popular move nowadays, is to play the attach at q17 and then Hane in the corner. So this will lead to a very common Joseki where white fixes the base in the top, but so does black. And it's a pretty tight Joseki actually. So the actual move, it's a 3 space jump towards the left in order to avoid black's moyo. But here black can jump in. Black decided to play calm at q17. Well, if black wants to secure the corner, q18 it's an option too, but this feels a little bit slow. And the thing is, when black defends q17, this gives white time to protect against the invasion, so white can simply play m16, because black is actually preparing the m17 invasion. So instead, white played a 2 space jump towards the Shimari in order to pace up the Fuseki in the top and develop faster, but then black can just jump in at m17. Well, he didn't do that yet. This middle side extension is pretty big and it's good direction to play from the top left Shimari, but right now a higher priority is to approach the lower right corner. So p3 or p4. These are good moves for black right away. Let's say we have this Joseki on the board. And now, when this Joseki comes to an end, black doesn't always have to jump out here to reinforce against the m3 invasion, but go for the middle side extension on the left side. So first, attack the corner, get the base on the bottom side, then get the last large point on the board. So this would be a very balanced Fuseki. But black decided to go for the middle side extension, and white very tight defends the corner. That's a good move. This prevents black's approach at c6. So if white plays, for example, p3, black will immediately approach c6 in order to develop the left side even nicer. So the moyo is just going to be very deep. So this is fine. Black invades the top, that makes sense because he prepared the invasion with q17, but still it's more interesting to play in the open places on the board, so p3 or p4. Now if p3 is played, white can kick and make a 1 space jump in order to take Sente. Then of course approach j3 is nice because then this prepares the invasion at n3, or either jump in the top or play m16 to prevent the invasion. That's an option too. Or if white wants to be more aggressive, some action in the top left corner can still be taken with this attach, but this happened in the game as well. So black invades. Now the attach on top, it's a little bit questionable here, because what can happen, black will cut one way or the other, and Atari Here white can decide to connect under with the Atari on the second line, but then white needs another move, either n17 or n18. So when this happens, white is a little bit low, being on the second line, connected in the top, and black is happy to get the Ponuki because it gives a lot of influence to develop later in the center. So this feels good for black, and if white doesn't play another move like n18 or n17 to protect the top, later on black will start a ko. And this is the kind of ko that black doesn't lose much, but if white loses the ko, white will lose a whole bunch of stones. So many times this ko fight continues like this. Well, this r3 is not necessarily a ko threat. Okay, let's find a better one. For example, trying to separate here. Then the moment black captures, white doesn't really have a big threat. Black will take again. So this is a pretty big collapse because black will build a lot in the top and all those white stones in the top are floating after that. So that's why white needs to play another move to stay properly connected, either n17 or n18. And that's a bit painful. Now if white decides to trade the stone in the top for the outside, it also feels kind of sad because black really builds a lot in that corner. So in this case, it's more interesting to play the attach on the second line and discard the stone on the second line in order to get the outside thickness. Because like this, black's territory in the lower, in the top, it's quite low, being on the second line, most of the stones. So black simply pulls back and connects under, and now it's similar to the result in the previous variation, which is not that terrible for white. So in order for black to punish white here, should either hane one way or the other and cut through. Now if this hane, white pulls back, black connects, 017 it's already hurt, so the result is good. And if white cuts, black will Atari, and again white needs to connect under. So black got the Ponuki in cente and can play away, either here or here. So in general, keep in mind that m18 it's a better move than m16 when the stones are on the third line and black jumps in. So usually try to connect under playing the attach on the second line. Now if the same position, it's one line higher, so white stones are on the fourth line, that's a different story. It can happen, and in that case it's okay to attach up in order to give up the Ponuki and connect. This happens a lot in handicap games, so we have a position like this. Okay, let's say we have another move around here, or even like this. So when black comes in, instead of attaching under, white attaches up, then cut, Atari, and then connect. So now white keeps the territory on the third line. So this is a completely different story. Now back to the original game. So black simply connects under. Double honey, it's an option. Very well played. Oops. So here black needs to connect under and white is center. White can also connect 016, but this can come later in the game as well. So that's why it's privilege. P3 is a good move. And in fact, black didn't gain so much in the top with that invasion at m17 after all. And white is happy with the thickness in the middle. So black got a pretty big point here. For black it's interesting to invade the bottom side. If white attacks from the right, black extends to the left. If white attacks from the left, black extends to the right. So this way, black makes sure white is not going to set up a large moy on the bottom area. Right now for white it's very big to play k4. It's the last open space on the board to play a big point in Fuseki. This is aggressive and it's a fine move too. Black played calm. And here white can hane first in the corner, then extend. Making the exchange 1-2 makes black a little bit... it's harder for black to attack the group. I mean, black has to take a stone first in order to remove the base, but white will just gain speed to extend again. So it kind of makes black a little more uncomfortable to have this exchange on the board, then extend. Like this, it's quite easy. I mean, if black plays hane on the second line and white blocks or pulls back, this exchange already restricts white's area or shrinks the base a little more. But when the exchange is made first, so Hane block and then go for a base, every time black plays Atari here, white can counter Atari. So black needs another move to take the stone. This gives white some time to extend again. This kick is good. White has to go up and it's a little bit heavy. Then black has to jump out. Now here, black shouldn't go down. It's better to jump into the center because the shape is quite vulnerable on the left side. And only when white approaches c9, black will descend to make sure white stones are separated. But white will also probably go out. Hane first, this exchange is still good. And then either one space jump or fly out faster with an O game. So when black goes down, these 3 stones are actually heavy and white can come on top with a Kema or also play the big point. It's a nice idea. One space jump here. It's quite urgent to go out with the group. 2 space jump, it's an option too, because the 3 stones are weak anyway, so black doesn't have time to invade the bottom as long as he's weak on the left side. This will probably be a little bit painful for black. Anyway, k4 is a big point, so if white is confident that the group at d12 will survive either when black attacks, then it's okay to take the big point. Black doesn't care about the stones on the left side anymore. Normally, black should go for a tiny base here or one space jump to escape. So, black comes inside with a submarine approach. White plays the attach. Now this move actually gives black I shape easily because black can cut. So black's options are either bump, play Kosumi. It's also possible to play f2, f3 or Sansan. But playing the attach on the left or attach on the right just gives black a stone, which actually makes black leave very easily. So for example, if bump, black will pull back, white blocks the corner, black plays a clamp first as a probe, and then black extends for a base. Now I can double up at k3 to keep the pressure on the bottom group. Black needs to defend like this or like this, but now white can come between the groups and actually attack both the group on the left side and the bottom in the same time. So with this attach, black will just leave. Kosumi, it's an option too. Kosumi on top, then one space jump. So like this, white becomes thick on the outside in order to attack the 3 stones on the left. If white plays f2 and black goes in the corner, black can live in the corner, but this way white gets very thick on the outside. So k4 is just working very well to set up the moyo, and now again white can attack very severely the 3 stones on the left. So with this attach, black will just capture the stone. Now this way, white blocked the corner, but black's group, it's quite hard to be killed next. This is a good vital point. Black comes up, Hane, Black can actually play the Hane here. So if white cuts, it's not such a big problem because black can play one Atari, then Atari here, Atari cut, and go down. So in this case, white has to sacrifice and give up the corner. If white resists more, black will Atari, Hane, and kill the corner anyway. So actually, if black plays a Hane, white has to go up because the cutting points in the corner are very painful if white lets black use them. Now black can play this move and the group is already safe. So when white plays here, black will go out. This is painful, the empty triangle. Alright. So right now, black is on the run and white will build while attacking. h4 is a very good move. Makes black turn, then induces the way up into the center. That's also good and important to play e6. Black should actually push again. Pushing g2 takes away the option of jumping h2. And anyway, black still doesn't have ice. So this is a thank you move or a happy exchange for white. Because when white blocks, black still doesn't make twice. When black goes down, white can false here. When black connects, white can take away the second eye on the first line. So it didn't improve black's position much. Now black still has to go out. Hane, it's excellent. Then in this case, white should actually no be. This is the key point. Take away the tiger mount. Black needs to double up, otherwise white will cut. And having the no be here threatens a great deal this group on the left side. So right now, white can decide to jump here in order to push black into the center and get more moves in the middle and actually force black into some painful shape in order to surround the left side. Also, white can just surround the left side and decide later whether to push again from the left or from k6. If black jumps k6, white will simply enclose the territory on the 4th line on the bottom, and it's already good enough because the stones on the left, they are pretty dead. But playing this tsuke, black can block with a tiger mount, so the tiger mount is a pretty nice shape. Then white needs to go up, and black can cover to make I shape for his group on the bottom. But now the left side seems pretty dead. White doesn't even have to answer here, just surround the left side. It's already a great deal, because white should accept that black's group is out already in the center. So even if black plays an Atari here or here, it's not such a big deal. Already white got nice compensation killing the left side. But in general, you don't want to let your opponent get the tiger mount, so this no-b should be a mandatory exchange right away and then continue the fight. So attach, then no-b, black made life, which is a bit slow because black is already out in the center. So black has the bump here, or a push, or a jump, and right now for black it's urgent to save the 3 stones on the left. So it's better to come out here because this also threatens white stones on the left side. White will jump out, black will jump again, and then black saves everything. Which means white kind of lost the opportunity to punish black earlier. But when black goes down here at g1, this is very slow, and now white could actually kill the left side in one move. Extending here it's pretty large, expands the bottom and the right side. Moyo makes the box bigger, but taking the left side seems urgent because it also helps white weak stones in the process. So black found a way to go out on the left. This is also big. Here, let's see. Hane. Pak. Yeah, not so easy to surround. If white had this exchange in place earlier, then white can push and block, turn, Atari, and connect. And now black's group is separated. But now it's a bit too late. I mean, if white plays here, and everything, when white connects up, black will connect under, and if white connects here, black will kill the 3 stones and still connect. So white decides to go out lightly. A shape point would probably be a Keima here, or an O-Gamer like this. But yeah, black is already connected on the left side. So the Aji is gone. This is a big point. Q11 prevents the invasion on the right side. The attach is a bit too much. And normally, white should attach on the second line, because the idea is to give up a stone and get the Atari on the outside in order to expand the middle. Now playing the attach above, black can cut and Atari this way. And even if the ladder doesn't work, black will play Atari, and another Atari. If white goes down, black will descend in center and then jump in the middle. So sacrificing this stone for black, it's still a good idea or a good plan in order to reduce the center. But black didn't play with fighting spirit the Hane Q8, so white just got the bigger box. Now here, in order to play center, white should play the clamp, then block, and now black will protect against the cut. But if white just descends, black doesn't have to defend. Black can push here or reduce the middle, with a Keima. Because if white plays S9, now black can protect, and if white cuts, black will capture, and on the second Atari, black doesn't answer. Reduces the middle again. When white takes 2 stones, black can take 1 back. And also black can ignore again and reduce the bottom even more. So here actually, black played slow to protect S9. This is just endgame. This is a move to prevent the monkey jump or the clamp at S9, but it's bigger to play in the center. So if white monkey, this will happen, but black is fine. So black plays somewhere else instead. Now this was soft, The turn is very good because it's threatening Atari, so white simply expands the bottom. Push again, also fine. White can play Keima here. But the push is nice because after the push, white has the Hane in the head of 2 stones. So black is supposed to Nobi again normally. But yeah, Hane here to reduce the bottom makes sense too. Then push. Now black stays alive. White didn't really need this move. In fact, the way to defend here is J3 because when black pushes under, white will block. And when black plays here, white blocks anyway. Like this, black can go H1 and white needs to Nobi or jump, then Atari, then connect. So it's a bit harder to block the bottom. But if J3, when black pushes, white will block directly. So that can save a few points on the bottom side. Now black makes sure that he's connected on the left side. That's a good endgame. So is this one. It's also okay for black to play P17. It's an empty triangle, but it gives an extra point because P18 becomes a black territory point now. Like this is 1 point less. Well, the shape is also stronger and no AG. Nice to hit this vital point. Ooh, what a painful defense. Black should play at least an attach or a peep first and then a connection where it takes away liberty or bump here. Either way, it's an empty triangle, but when playing the solid connection, it's 2 empty triangles in 1 move. So push again, that was center, very good jump to enclose the top. So here, white can already jump. If black goes Atari, white goes down. So black will attach, Atari connect, connect, and when Atari here, white can ignore. But like this, black keeps pushing, and white still needs to jump. And in the end, white block 2 lines lower. So white lost these 2 points too, compared to blocking a little earlier like this. So now, these 2 points are actually saved. But white has a pretty nice box in the lower right, a lot of territory in the top too. So this seems like an easy win for white. So here if block, Atari, 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 Atari. Let's see the danger. Too dangerous, yeah. So in fact, when let's go back a few more. Yeah, here white can block. Black will Atari, white connects. It's true that black is center, but white keeps everything on the left side. Like this, white is center now. So, but black can push at B3 and damage more. In fact, either way it's fine. But later on, yeah, white has to double up here and black can push again. Now white has to keep the I shape. Very good. Normally the sequence is to push here first and then Q12. On this move, black can play Kosumi, then white has to go up and connect under. If white goes down, black cuts. But now we got back to the same formation. All right. Black is capturing 1 stone. This is not so big. Kosumi here is big. If black pushes, white blocks, and that's it. Yeah, actually, P14 shouldn't be played. Black can also play Kosumi here. If white plays the block, black can leave it. But it's already hard for black to come back. There is no more room to build enough territory. So from here on, just small endgame. And white wins by a very comfortable 13 points margin. Good defense here. Nice also. Oh, wait. So, if block, Atari, connect, white needs to connect here. Sorry, black needs to connect like this, and white will cut. So now the 2 stones die in the middle, with a lot of surrounding territory, because the group on the left side is already alive. Now if black connects like this, white will kill more stones. Therefore, black's move doesn't really work. So white can just separate and win by more points. Yep, this was it. Well done on this game. Enjoy the review.